everybody. It's your girl Sofia, aka Sophie, back here on Sophia's Football Talk to talk about some Manchester United transfer news as we're literally now getting so close to the deadline day, and clubs are still making, or trying to at least make some new signings, or at least have some outgoing as well. And Man United is no different, so we'll talk about it. The big news is a potential swap deal between Scott Mctominay going to Bayern Munich and Man United then getting Ryan Gravenberch on return or as return, if that makes sense. So before we dive in, make sure you give this video here a big thumbs up. And of course, also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We are on the road to 3K subscribers. So let's try to make that happen, shall we? Okay, let's go. So yesterday, it was reported, I believe also Christian Falk did confirm this to be true, but we'll see if this will even happen. But essentially, Bayern are considering Manchester United midfielder Scott McTominay as a loan target for the number 6 position in the remaining days of the market. Man United want the Scotsman to leave. In return, Gravenberch could join the Red Devils on loan. That'll be interesting. I mean, it's very apparent, very clear that Scott McTominay doesn't really have a future here at Man United. Yes, he came in few minutes at the end of the Nottingham Forest game. Did he really do that much? Not really. He was just a little lackluster, but he's not a part of um, Eric Ten Hag's plans. So but I'm still very shocked that Bayern, like with Thomas Tuchel, are interested. Imagine, okay, not really getting that many minutes from Man United, but hey, then suddenly before, or let's say after the window closes, you see Scott McTominay in a Bayern Munich shirt. That'll be shocking, but I wouldn't be opposed to London. I mean, preferably, I would want to just sell him and get that proper piece, that money to then use to maybe facilitate the Amrabat deal. But if we still do get Amrabat, which we will be talking about shortly in this video, and in addition to that, have a Ryan Gravenberch on a loan, I wouldn't necessarily be opposed. But I'm not going to have us just getting Ryan Gravenberch and then um, not going in for Sofyan Amrabat. If I had to choose, I'd rather have Amrabat, personally speaking. But we'll see how this will unfold. I will let you guys know if I hear anything else. Just wanted to do a little bit of a early type of show in the morning hours or early hours of the day. um, but yeah, the next one though, another big news is potential loan for Maguire to West Ham. Yesterday, West Ham, which was reported that they have renewed their interest in Harry Maguire following a hamper days ago. Understand that West Ham are considering a loan deal while Manchester United position hasn't changed. They prefer a permanent deal. Both clubs remained engaged in negotiations to find a resolution, particularly since Maguire isn't in Ten Hag's plans for this season. But then suddenly today, right before I started to film this video, it's been reported from uh, Jay Burt from the Telegraph says, as things stand, West Ham United are not, with capital letters by the way, not back in for Harry Maguire. Conversations it took place last week, but the London side are not currently in the market for a central half. It's a madness. It's a madness. We'll see how this whole thing unfolds. I just still have a feeling that Maguire will leave. I hope he does. Guy hasn't played a single minute so far this season. You've had a Lindelöf coming in for him twice instead, in the second half. Like, I think it was maybe the Spurs game where Martinez got subbed off, or it might have been the Wolves game, one or the other. And then the last game where Varane got subbed off, and Lindelof then came in the second half for the Nottingham Forest game. So he's just there on the bench. He literally is just sitting there eating bench. Is the Euros next year? Are you still going to not play? Have another season where you don't play? Gareth Southgate was at the game at Old Trafford and watching that Man United Nottingham Forest game. So I don't know. We'll see. But as things stands right now, it looks to be that the potential deal for him to go to West Ham is off. I wouldn't really want him to go on loan. Like if he's gonna go, we have to get money. I'm not gonna sit here and have a loan deal because would that be beneficial for Man United? Not really. We still do need to get another centre back in, a future replacement for Varane at some point, right? And that will be great if that can happen now. Whether that be a Todibo from Nice, I don't know, but Maguire does have to go. And he's allowed in his own right to say, no, I'm not going to leave because he still has a contract that, you can still uphold, I should say, and follow. So can't really be forced out. But you can make it still very clear that there's no place for him. Have him train with the under 21s. I get he wants to still be able to be paid his wages. He doesn't want to go in with the pay cut and whatnot. I get that. But also for your own career, Harry Maguire, even though you're probably definitely not gonna go to a club of the same stature as a Man United, doesn't mean that your career is over. I've said this time and time again. There's other clubs that you can still go at or go to. Um, and galvanize your career. There's still there's still a player there, just not suitable for Man United. But that doesn't mean that you're completely dead, that you're completely shit and whatnot. I don't think that's the case, at least. He just doesn't suit what we want to do right now. And that's okay. But for your own career, you should go. Right now, he's more likely to just be sitting there collecting his paycheck. You do you. But I don't know. I hope we will see a Harry Maguire to this club, da 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 da, with another shirt that's not a Man United shirt. I hope that will happen and that we see that after the window has closed. We'll see though. Another news is, as we do know that Luke Shaw has, you know, um, unfortunately gotten a muscular injury. Been reports that he'll probably be out for a few weeks, but then I was hearing recently he might be out until November. We also know, of course, prior to the preseason, that Tarell Malacia is out. I have no idea how long he's out for, but we are in the market essentially for a new left back. And right now, we have inquired about a Marco Correa from Chelsea. I also know a Marco Alonso from Barcelona and Sergio Reguilon um, from Spurs. Technically, I believe he was supposed to go to Real Sociedad, I think, but that deal collapsed. Either way, it looks to be that Marco Correa potentially could be more of a he's definitely more on that top list of one of many is what Fabrizio Romano reported a few days ago. And we're still looking. It will then be a loan deal. Um, I am not necessarily opposed to it, but then again, the more I thought about it, I'm like, I would love to see us give Alvaro Fernandez a proper chance, a proper go. He had a great loan spell at Preston in the championship last season, but he isn't really getting a sniff. And he also had a good preseason. I mean, I saw him in the game, the first preseason game here in Oslo, playing Leeds United. Looked very good. I also watched a lot of the other ones, obviously on TV, but he looked good to me. But it's clear at this point, looks to be that Ten Hag doesn't really seem to be ready at this point, which is of course unfortunate. But what can you do? Um, we will see. So either way, we need to get somebody in to help out on that left back role, whether that be a Marc Cucurella. Like I said, I'm not really opposed to it. I'm actually open for it. I know a lot of people saying like, "Oh, shit, it's trash." I don't think so. I know it hasn't worked out at Chelsea, but it still doesn't necessarily mean that it couldn't work out here. We'll have to wait and see. And then for the following news, of course, it's important to address and talk about Sofyan Amrabat. I mean, there's been so many reports saying he really wants to go to Man United. He's been wanting to come to us ever since June. Like, people, it's going to be September. Um, Deadline day is on Friday. TikTok. We need to make this deal done because we have to get him in. It wouldn't be that much money. Also heard reports that, of course, Fiorentina, he's not really even a part of the squad anymore because he wants to go. Um, hasn't been playing. He's training on his own, and they even have tried to reduce the asking price. So they're open to negotiate any type of price that's coming on. But today it was reported by Samuel Luckhurst. Manchester United have constantly stressed their interest in Amrabat has been overstated in the Italian media and fueled by his agent Mahmoud El Bustati. Um, would that means maybe we're not that into him as the Italian media is really saying. There's also Napoli really interested in Sofyan Amrabat and are trying to sign him. That's reported by Corriere. Um, I don't know. I hope we can make this. I really want Sofyan Amrabat. I really like him. I think he would balance out that midfield, really be able to help out Casemiro. So potentially having a Sufjan Amrabat more as that six, and then having a Casemiro be more in that eight, and then Bruno in that 10. Of course, you also have Mount. But I think, you know what? If you're good enough, you'll play. We try to rotate, is what I'm thinking would be a smart thing to do. But Casemiro can't be the only six that we do have. He has to also be able to have some competition himself, some cover, and somebody that can help him every now and then. So I know a lot of people before when we were thinking about getting Amber, they were like, wouldn't it maybe be too much of a defensive midfield? Right now, we need to make sure that this midfield is not going to be ran through every single game. Like, yo, we can't keep having that. Remember, against Spurs, Bissouma was just, yo, completely having a field day in that game when they won 2-0. We were not on it. Okay, at least in the second half we were out of it. Okay, so for me, Amrabat will be very much essential for what we need to do to bring some physicality, also good on the ball, good as a destroyer, add him in. And like I said, I wouldn't mind also getting a Gravenberch on loan. Why not? But my number one target right now for me would be to get a Sufjan Amrabat. It's of course a bit discouraging, a bit annoying when you see reports such as reported by Samuel Luckers from the Manchester Evening News that um, that Man United aren't really that super keen on a Sofyan Amrabat. We'll have to wait and see. I still believe that we'll get it done, but this week is going to be very chaotic. It's going to be a very, very pivotal week. And for me, this week can definitely make or break the season in a way. I'm not going to lie. If we don't get an Amrabat in or any type of midfielder in, especially not an Amrabat in, I have to then reevaluate my expectations and prediction for Man United season. Um, of course, once the window is closed, we'll definitely do a updated version of my prediction for the Premier League season. Either way, I do want, of course, hear your thoughts about the news being given to you today. Whether or not you support Man United or not, let me know. Do you think that the Scott McTominay Gravenberch swap deal would be a good thing for Man United to do? Do you think Maguire still is going to leave, or do you think he's going to stay? Let me know about that. Marc Cucurella, a good left back option. Should we go for it? And of course, Sofyan Amrabat, are Man United really going to get him? Or is it maybe true that we aren't that interested? Let me know about that in the comment section. I'll see you guys in the next video very soon. Have a great day. Bye bye. See you soon.